Hey, what's up, you guys? I'm Some Dumb American, and welcome to SDA Unplugged. This is the May Patreon stream. Ranting Monkey should be here in a minute, and I just want to say welcome to the TK4. Say hi.
Hi.
We might also have another patron jumping on here in a little bit, but for right now, it's just us. So, how have you been over the past month?
Oh, I've been okay.
Okay. Um, so let's see. You brought up a couple of things that you wanted to talk about,
hmm
in particular. So you wanted to talk about something about the difference between fantasy and reality when it comes to, uh, I think, children or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just anymore the whole thing you were talking about there in one of your videos, the feels versus real stuff.
Right.
It feels like, I hate to use feels here, but it just seems as if at some point parents suddenly stopped explaining to their children the difference between make believe and reality. Like, I remember when I was a kid, as soon as I was able to sit down and watch television as a child, my parents had a very clear talk with me, even though I was very tiny, about there are make believe things that I'll see on TV and there are real things. And whenever I was going to watch something, they told me, you know, the differences about what I was going to see
Mhm.
until I was capable of understanding what's real and what's not on my own.
Right.
And I don't know, after my generation, that did parents just decide that wasn't important anymore?
They might have. I don't. I don't know. I don't know if it's a parents thing or if maybe in regards to gender, people think that it's, I don't know, like a higher intellectual thing.
Mm.
So it could be something like that. Um, but yeah, I really don't know. Because people do seem to think that, just because they feel like they are a different gender, then that automatically means that they are, which is obviously pretty silly.
hmm And it seems like no any kind of feeling they have, of as long as they have it, it should be validated as a fact.
Right. Yeah, which is obviously silly. Hi, Monkey.
How are you guys?
I'm good.
I'm all right.
Monkey, what do you think? Do you think the parents are forgetting to explain to their children that not everything is real?
You know, kind of, but I don't think it's necessarily just this generation. I remember being a kid, and I remember when they started having to put the little warnings in play capes that you got with your Halloween costume, letting you know it wouldn't help you fly.
Oh my goodness, I remember
So, I mean,
that
this has
too.
been
Right.
going
It's
on
one of those
since,
things where like you read the warnings and you're like, what idiot made
yeah.
it so that they had to do that?
And I think that, especially starting in the 80s, it actually started with my generation more than even the baby boomers.
Hmm.
Um, they just started treating kids like they're excessively stupid. And kids are dumb
Yeah.
because they don't have experience or education yet. But yeah, it used to be that you could, you just told your kid, hey, that doesn't get off the damn roof. You're not going to be able to fly. You didn't have to have a warning label on everything. Or
Right. And, like, yeah, kids are still kids, and there are things that they're not ready to understand, like consent, Lindsay. Um, but at the same time, they're also not so stupid. Like, you can still explain to them, hey, if you jump off a roof, ouch.
yeah, and I know that's not exactly where you guys were talking about, but it comes from the same stuff.
Yeah.
hmm
Mara said, I think part with the gender thing, switching back to that, she said, I think part of it is the rise of working mothers and kids being in daycare 5 days a week. So if they try to create something special, they try to create something special about themselves. And I don't think that's too far off.
Well, when it comes to, sorry if I'm stepping on you, just to interrupt me if you need to, because I'll talk anyway. When it comes to transgenders, I absolutely believe it is just about getting attention. And
I think so too.
If you watch Milo, I mean, she had to keep getting more special and more special and more special,
Right.
to the point now she's taking hormones she should not even be on, so she can prove just how special she is.
Yeah. Because she was like, I'm trans, and everybody was like, but you're not. And she was like, how about now? And we're like, no, that's the exact opposite of what you were. Okay. All right.
Yes.
It's like, that wasn't the right response. Okay. All right.
Yeah, watching those videos, the response videos she made to that sort of thing, kind of felt like watching a kid play dress up.
Yes.
Yeah. And then it's the videos on her second channel that are particularly disturbing.
Oh, yes. Some of those are really hard to watch.
Yeah. And I guess we'll talk more about this on the mainstream, but mainstream anyway. Sorry. But I don't think that Shoe on Head is coming from a bad place. I think she genuinely, cares that much about people. I just also think that it doesn't really matter. What?
This will probably get me in trouble with you, but I think this is one of the problems we face as a society, is that women tend to err on the side of feeling.
No, you're not wrong.
That's what I think she was doing here. I don't think she's a bad person. I just think she's
I think she genuinely cares about people. I mean, even with the drama that I had with her, I had drama with her because she genuinely thought that I was trying to say that one of her friends was a pedophile, but she was so caught up in how that made her feel and how that might make him feel that she forgot to take a step back and look at what I'd actually said, and to think about, well, if I wanted to call him a pedophile, would I have just done that? And the answer is yes, I would have. So it sort of steps on, it steps all over your logic because you forget to take a step back and think with your brain.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Steven is here, the one that I blocked from because of the bugs. Hi, Steven.
How's it going, Steven?
He's not blocked on Twitter anymore, but
So not to get off topic here, but TK, we've never talked before.
We
Tell me about yourself.
Talked on Twitter a little there once.
Yeah, just not directly though.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about yourself. How do you fill your time?
I like to play video games, watch movies, Netflix, chat with friends online.
Console or PC?
PC Master Race.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's the right answer. So what kind of movies and TV do you like? Are you a comedy guy, horror, sci-fi?
I like horror movies, but I tend to be more into comedy TV shows. And I also like to spend a lot of time on YouTube watching SDA's videos and this guy called Ranting Monkey.
Don't watch him. He's an asshole.
No, he's pretty okay.
I kind of stuck on him now. I've been a subscriber of his since he had 600 subscribers.
Oh wow! Thank you so much.
Yeah, I saw you mention something on a bearing video back then about a video you'd made on the same topic, and I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. And I went over and had a look, and I thought, oh yeah, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's people ask me how I grew so fast, and that what you're talking about is what did it, because that actually happened before I had 10 subscribers. I had 9. My wife was my 9th subscriber, and I had done a video about, I want to say it was Michael Rowland's I think it was my chicken fucker video. And I just mentioned in the comment to Bering, I told him, I know you don't need defended, but I made a video and I thought you might like it. And he came over, and from there, I just jumped right up. And I don't recommend that as a solid way to try to grow, but it worked for me.
So you couldn't get her to subscribe until 9, huh? She wasn't sold on it?
When I first told her that I was doing YouTube, you should have seen the look she gave me. It was that, oh, hell, I don't believe you. But yeah, it was kind of funny.
Stream every night, and just look at the places we've gone.
No, now she's like my business manager, looking at me like, "Do you have a video done yet?" Like, that's a change of pace.
That's actually how like I've got friends that are like, "You've made a video, right?" And I'm like, okay.
Okay, I'm robot a little bit here because I'm finally uploading my video.
Okay.
But I'm gonna mute myself for a minute too, so I'll be back in just a minute, guys.
Okay. So you said that you're interested in horror movies?
Yeah.
So what kind of horror movies do you like? Give me some examples.
My favorite tend to be zombie movies.
Okay.
I like a lot of Night of the Living Dead, and I think the remake of Night of the Living Dead, not the second one, but the first remake of it, was superior to the original. Okay. But the original is the one that scarred me as a child when I stayed up late at night watching TV and saw that. And wait, can I spoil the ending on that?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, when
it
the
came out like 50 years ago now, so
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to spoil it too soon for people who are still meaning to see it, but
it'll be okay.
I think they've probably checked it out if they're going to. When the main character died at the end, being mistaken as a zombie and got shot in the head, that was actually my first experience with the fact that main characters can die. They can lose.
Oh, right.
There's not always a big happy ending.
Right. Yeah, because in most cases, you're right. Main characters are not in any real danger of croaking. So what other kind of zombie movies other than that one?
Let's see. Try to think of recent good zombie movies, but there haven't been any really recent good ones that I can think of.
Yeah. Yeah, back in the day, I used to watch a ton of horror movies.
I remember one summer that I watched so many horror movies that I got to this point late at night once where I was just so jittery. I couldn't go down the hallway to use the bathroom because I was afraid something was going to jump out at me. I couldn't go grab a drink. I just kept sitting there twitching, looking over my shoulder, just this ball of fear. And then suddenly I finished the last movie and I broke. I wasn't afraid anymore. For like 2 months after that, I just started to lack the ability to be afraid.
Yeah, it's hard to get me with horror movies. I think the only horror movie I've ever had to turn off, it was a Japanese one, which if you know anything about horror movies, you know that if you want to get the pants scared off you, that's where you go. And it was just a really, really disturbing one. It's stuff like I can't even describe on YouTube without it. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it, but that was the only one that made me tap out.
So before I left, I heard you saying you like zombie movies. Do you like fast zombies or slow zombies?
I prefer slow zombies. I think that fast zombies, ironically, are are lazy in that, it's lazy by the writer, with an extra
Mhm.
tactic to make them seem scarier. That's not really necessary if
Yeah,
you use them the right way.
I think the appeal of zombies, I'm not the biggest zombie fan, but the appeal to them is that slow, inevitable, no matter how fast you run, they are still going to catch you. It doesn't
Right,
matter. That's
because
the whole
they
point.
don't tire out.
Yeah. So I absolutely agree with you on that point.
What
Mhm.
do you guys think about, like, obviously the way you kill a zombie is by sticking something in its brain, right?
Right.
Yep.
I've
Yep.
always found that to be a little bit of a cop out because, like, it's a zombie, it doesn't need its brain.
Mhm. Well,
And I think,
that depends on what reanimated it, I suppose.
yeah, but um, I feel like it shouldn't. I don't know. I feel like it shouldn't need brain activity because if it can't get tired and nothing else is working the way it should be, then I
Mhm.
feel like that logic should extend to all the parts of the body. I get that you have to have a way to kill it, but
I feel like you're overthinking zombies.
I know. But
Yeah. You know,
but see,
speaking of overthinking zombies, I had an interesting zombie theory once.
okay,
Is that I remember way back, zombies were made via magic. They were, reanimated corpses via some sort of voodoo or necromancy or whatnot. And then it changed to them being reanimated because of radiation.
Hmm.
And then later on, with the advent of the fast zombies, it became some sort of they were these infected. It was a virus that reanimates them. And it just seems to me that whatever scares the populace the most at the time seems to be the zombies' new origin. Like back when people were afraid of magic and voodoo and stuff like that, it's where zombies came from. Then when people were afraid of, that atom bombs were going to start dropping or something, that's where zombies started to come from,
That's
is radiation.
that's
that is a
actually like pretty fucking on point.
it is.
Mm.
Yeah, I had never thought about that, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah, because now the big fear is like, well, if somebody sneezes on a plane and then that plane goes to India and then another person sneezes in India, holy shit, like the world's gonna blow up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh,
And that's pretty
Ebola,
much,
bird flu, swine flu. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
That, wow. This
You
blew
just,
my fucking mind,
yeah, I
dude.
know, right? Same. I'm just like, whoa, okay.
Well, throughout history, if you look at your monsters and stuff, they tend to go that way anyway. But
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's not necessarily that specific. And yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna
apparently
be thinking about that one for
zombies,
days.
yeah, zombies are kind of a rooted dark fear of ours, death. They represent death. And their origin being how we're afraid of that death coming to be,
Mhm.
just it makes sense.
Well, the other thing, this kind of works for other monsters too, like vampires, for example, where back in the day, the old folklore was that they came back to life after they were buried.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, Whereas now there's always some other sort of fancy way to make a vampire. Like you either
Hmm.
get bitten, you do something else. So um, vampire lore originated back when people were scared of being buried alive, and with good reason too, because it did happen. So it
Right. That's
is,
why they put those bells that you could ring in
yeah, it
the.
is interesting where folklore comes from. I'd never thought about that with zombies. Um, Sorry, Monkey, were you going to say something?
No, ma'am, I was just exhaling my cigarette.
No,
That's what you heard.
Monkey. Are we ever gonna do a non-smoking stream?
Yeah, we should do
Again?
that next time we're on my channel.
Oh, yeah, on your channel so that you get all the money, right?
If I'm
Got
going to
it.
suffer, it's coming to me. That's my rule.
No, it's fine. I need to start smoking so people can pay me not to smoke, because those are your best nights when it comes to super chat.
Well, that's not true. Spanking was my best night.
That's true too.
So, TF, if I remember correctly, you're kind of like me, a little bit crippled. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I'm being vague there because I don't know exactly what's wrong. I was trying to remember the last stream you two were in. Does that limit your ability to like go out?
Yeah, very much.
I feel for you. We went out today. The reason my video is going up is so late is because Lady Monkey wanted to go to the store, and I thought I don't get to go out very much, so I went with her. And I started thinking about all the things I can't do anymore. Because like she was talking about going to the amusement park this summer. I'm like, I can go, but I'm gonna have to sit by the park entrance and just stare. And I was wondering, is there anything that you like really, really miss? What do you miss the most about being, I guess the proper term would be fully functional? If I can ask, you can tell me to fuck off if you want to, but I'm just curious.
At the moment, it's actually at a different level than it should be at. And it's been that way for half a year now, to where I'm actually bedridden and can't even get into my wheelchair to get up to my desktop computer, which I would love because it's much more powerful and much more fun to play games on and whatnot. But I can't even do that.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. That sucks. Yeah, there was Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get back to that point shortly, but it's rough.
I imagine. With this, before they got my medicine to at least where it is now, I had several days, weeks at a time where I just could not get out of bed. And of all of the shit I've been through in my life, that was the worst. Laying there, just when you're not in that position, you have no idea how good it feels to just sit upright or to be able to, walk down the hallway. So I feel for you. I'm so sorry to hear that. So are you able to use a computer at all, or are you on a tablet or like a phone right now?
I've got a laptop here. It's a bit old, but at least it's allowed me to watch YouTube videos, play some video games, watch Netflix. It gets me through the days.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's one of the reasons I love Steam expanding their library as much as they have, and like good old games. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but if you like the really old games, they run pretty good even on a mid-range computer. So definitely check those out if you haven't.
Oh no,
What's your favorite
I have
old game?
some. One of my favorites is Betrayal in Antar.
Oh, not familiar with that. What's it? What kind of game is that?
It's an RPG where your characters are going around the world doing these tasks and whatnot to try and get this. Basically, at the start, you're the one character. He gets into the shipwreck, and he winds up on the shore where he's attacked by this monster, and this tavern son comes over to try and help him, but obviously can't. It's a monster. But this magic comes out and blasts him away. And it turns out he's an untrained sorcerer. And so your job is to try and get him back to the court of the noble man he just saved, to try and train him before he accidentally blows up something he shouldn't do.
Gotcha.
And yeah, during it, whenever there are bad guys, you go into this turn by turn phase where like you fight them and you
I like
So is it
turn-based combat.
turn-based?
yeah, so
Okay.
it's turn based like that, and of also when you go to towns, and there's so much dialogue when you click on all the different houses, and like some of them you'll get to gamble with somebody who lives there. Some of them have a side quest, and it's just such a big world for the time that it was in,
Mhm.
because it was a game from like the 80s.
Oh,
Oh wow,
wow.
yeah. So definitely going to be turn-based. I really miss those kind of games. I like my Fallout 3 and those, but turn-based combat takes a little bit more strategy and planning, and you can get away with a lot more too if you have the right, especially if you have a party type game.
Like Pokemon.
Yeah, kind of like Pokemon. Yes.
Untrained wizard, I choose you. Use
Yeah.
head explodey attack.
No, you can get if you know what you're doing in certain turn-based RPGs like that, you're right, you can get away with a whole bunch of bullshit that you wouldn't be able to get away with otherwise.
Mhm.
Well, if you go back to like the old school D&D games, I mean, you absolutely had to do it that way. You had to have your cleric cast a healing spell that turn, or your tank was going to die.
Yeah.
And there was just a lot more thought to it than I have the biggest gun, so I'm going to win.
One game that actually it's kind of it looks like a cutesy game because it kind of is, but it's a 3DS game called Fantasy Life.
Mhm.
And it's actually one of the most extensive fantasy RPGs I have ever played.
Wow.
I mean, there's basically like 12 classes of things that you can be, and over the course of the game, you can actually just be all of them and switch back and forth.
Oh, see
And
that I don't. That's not a mechanic I like. I like you build a character, and if you want to play a different character, you got to go through it again, class wise. Because again, old school D&D here.
Yeah.
I wasn't even real happy with dual classing. I understand the appeal of it, I really do, but oh, I miss the old ones.
well, I mean, you can do it however you want to. So you could play it where you play all 12 of them, or where you just, I mean, I've done playthroughs where I only do one of them,
Hmm.
and I've done playthroughs where I've
And
done the whole thing. And
yeah, and I don't mind it as a game mechanic because I don't have to use it, but there's still something in me that's like that's fundamentally wrong.
well,
Regardless,
Yeah,
the
it's
other thing
fun.
about
I get you, Monkey. I feel that one.
the
There's
other
something about restarting and just rebuilding the character because you didn't get the one you were looking for to turn
Mhm.
out just right. So you want to go back and build it up from the start again, as opposed to just change it partway through.
Yep. But anyway, I'm sorry, SD. What were you saying?
Well, the other thing about that game that's really interesting is that the crafting system is probably the most in-depth um, I've seen in a really, really long time. And it's incredibly in-depth for, for a 3DS game. It's really good. It's a lot
I'm
of
really
fun.
torn on that, actually. I really love crafting systems, but sometimes I feel like they've been a little overdone.
Yeah, it's really in-depth. I mean, like I said, it's not something you have to use ever.
Mhm.
Um, but it kind of functions as its own little mini game within the
Mhm.
game. So if you don't want to go out and beat stuff up, you can just kind of chill at home and like make some cloth.
Oh, that sounds really cool.
So it's fun.
I've never
Um,
played a game with a crafting system where I actually liked the crafting system. Um, the closest would be doing the crafting system in World of Warcraft, and even that, it was just if you ran any dungeons or anything, there was no real reason to craft because the stuff that you were making was inferior to what you would find.
Yeah, in this one, there's actually like real reasons to craft stuff because the stuff that you can craft is better than what you can buy, and it's a lot cheaper to do it too. And you can start adding stuff in it to make it better. So you could buy the next, so like for example, if you have a bronze sword and you want to, you could already buy an iron sword, but you could also make a better bronze sword that's better than the baseline iron sword yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So there is actually motivation to do it. And yeah, it's a fun game.
That's kind of cool because I remember in like Monkey was saying, World of Warcraft, where I was like, okay, I want to be this really kick-ass blacksmith and make myself these really cool weapons, and it's like, wait, these things suck. Why am I making these? And then
Yeah,
my mage friend was like, well, because if I disenchant this, I get more special dust than if I enchanted just about anything else at the same level. So if you make me these, I can make this, which will allow me to make these things, which we can sell at the auction house for a lot of gold. And it's just like, that doesn't sound as cool.
Yeah.
yeah, it's not. It's nowhere near as convoluted as that. And just like the way that it works, it really makes you feel like you've made it. Because there's also a lot of crafting systems where it's like just click these buttons, ta-da!
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like you're actually doing something.
So TK, you played WoW. What was your favorite class? Or what your favorite race? Were you Alliance or Horde?
Alliance.
Oh no! See, you got all the other
you
questions.
Horde scum?
For the Horde.
SDA's lost.
This is nerd. This is nerd stuff. You just sit there.
Okay, all right. I'll just sit here and do nothing.
So what race did you prefer? Did you have a preference? Were you human?
I liked I did like the human for their racial ability for the escape.
Oh yeah. Shit, why can't I think of the name of that? Oh God, Every Man for Himself was the undead.
Isn't that it?
Is it? Maybe it is. It's been like 2 years since I've played very, very much. But I was always undead.
It's been longer since I played.
Undead or the Taurens, because they were beasts. I feel like I've taken over your show here, SD.
No, it's okay. It's totally fine.
We're talking about things in her Hangout that she has no idea about.
It's all right. No, I mean, this is not for me. This is for, this is for my patrons who generously donate to me every month. So I'm perfectly happy
How
for you guys
about
to talk about
this?
stuff you're actually interested
SDA,
in.
did you ever play Diablo, the original?
No. I actually didn't start playing video games until about 3 years ago because my best friend was crazy into video games and he made me try Zelda. And so my stuff kind of tends to hover around like more recent PS4 stuff. I played all the Zelda games and I played most of the Pokemon games.
You played Link to the Past then?
Yeah. Yeah, I have.
I have fond memories of that.
Yeah, I really love all the Zelda games, and I want to play the new one. And I have a PS4, so I've played Shadow of Mordor, which I really like. I've dabbled in Minecraft a little bit, even though the creepers freak me out. So
I played Minecraft quite a bit, even on my channel. I remember when I very first got the game that I made a farm in it, and I just spent all day, every day, tending my farm, trying to make the crops grow as efficiently as possible. Somehow I bought a a farming simulator.
Yeah, I actually I tend to use Minecraft more for building than actually playing the game. Because
Pixel art?
no, I like building like houses and stuff. I've this is awful. I've built like entire like towns that have like whole redstone like facilities and like transport systems in them because
Oh,
I'm
that's
nuts.
cool.
So yeah, it actually was kind of cool. And I was like at the end of it, I was like, I'm totally gonna play in this, and then I just never did because I had spent so much time building it that I was just by the time I got done, I was totally sick of it.
The fun was in the making, not so much in the having.
Yeah, because once you have it, it's like, well, I mean, then there's nothing to do in the game because you've already built everything.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Monkey ever play Minecraft?
I have not. And give me a second, guys. I have to help Mrs. Monkey with the printer here.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Um, sorry, I just totally lost my train of thought. And I'm guessing you played
You built
Minecraft
a
on the PC, right?
yeah.
Because yeah, PC Master Race. Yeah, and I'm sitting here playing it on console. I've been told that building stuff like that would be much easier if I would just get a PC, but you know.
Yeah, I played it on a PC. My favorite thing to do is I had this friend who I played with, and we would download these maps made by this person named Vex,
Mm-hmm.
and they were adventure maps where
Right.
you he made these dungeons
Mm-hmm.
that had these colored wool blocks, and you had to break in, get them, and bring them back to your like trophy stand thing. And once you had conquered all the dungeons and had the trophy stand full, then you had beat the map.
Yeah, I've actually made a couple of adventure maps for a few friends because they know that I prefer to just build and dick around than actually play the game. And I've done some things like that where you have to like go through something and um, like you have to get like a certain amount of things and you have to put them. Um, I think the way I did it was you had to put them in the item frames and then turn them a certain way to open a door. And then once you could do that, it was over. It was something like that, I think. It was a while ago. But it was fun.
Which game is this?
Minecraft?
Oh, yeah. A friend of mine has tried getting me to play, and it's just not something I'm interested in.
Yeah. Like I said, for me it's more about the building stuff and not really playing it. I do like building adventure maps for people. That was fun.
I always found playing the adventure maps was pretty fun, and me and my friend had this incredibly different styles in how to conquer the dungeons.
mhm.
I was always coming up with these intricate plans of how to slip in, get the wool, and get it back to safety, whereas they were always just charge and getting shot by skeletons and wraths and all that stuff, and running and screaming and yelling. And I was just like, okay, you draw their fire, I'll just be getting the wool then.
Yeah. Gosh, I keep like losing my train of thought and I don't know why. Monkey, why is Minecraft turning the frogs gay?
That's just I make fun of people who play Minecraft because I don't play it, and that's what gamers do. You make fun of the games other people's play.
Oh, I thought you were saying gamers were turning the frogs gay.
No, Minecraft is. I was just messing with Carrot there in
Well,
the
I
chat.
don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the frickin' frogs gay.
Minecraft is doing it.
Minecraft. See,
Minecraft.
I feel a little bit superior because I don't play it on PC, so it's not quite as shameful.
Oh, it's more shameful on a console. Everything's more shameful on
Why?
a
No,
console.
it's not. It's a little bit more mainstream on a console,
That doesn't make it right.
but it makes it less.
No.
It makes it less nerdy.
No, see, computer games are not supposed to be about being less nerdy.
Yeah, they are.
You embrace your nerd.
No, I like to reject it and play on consoles.
Thereby becoming even nerdier than you thought.
No, what are you talking about? No, I'm not. I'm not a
That
nerd.
makes you
Damn it.
a console tard.
Yes, right.
I'm
Console
okay with
kitty.
that. I'm not offended by that.
Okay.
Anyway, guys, we need to go get ready for the
Oh,
Scribble
shit, this day
stream.
is passing fast.
Yep, it's already been a while. So, Monkey, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, TK, it was nice to talk to you in person.
Yeah, it was nice to talk to you too. We'll have to do it again sometime.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was nice to talk to you again, TK. And of course, if you guys want to get in on this next month, there's a link to my Patreon in the description. If you donate $10 or more a month, you get to be part of these hangouts, and we have fun here. So anyway, we're about to head on over to Scribe's channel for the main show, and we'll see you guys over there. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.